Well, if we were gonna eat around here, I was going to take Alexandra. If we're gonna eat around Rick's, then I was gonna take her home.
You guys going there?
No, apparently Alexander doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go back and help her. She's a very overwhelmed person. What's her
Okay, next up, we're gonna.
You guys. I can't remember.
Okay, I'll let you know. Just drop your Alexandra off.
Wilson, get your skinny butt inside. You're bad. Get in here. Bad cat.
scrub the heavy metals out of your blood. If we are right about the cause, we should see some movement in about a day or so.
Put this thing on turbo. Get a little anxious in here.
I'm going to be here at all times to irrigate your eyes, keep you company. Hopefully help make time go quicker.
My eyes still feel really dry.
Thank you for thinking up, for helping me find you in there. And when you move that cursor,
Bought my first girlfriend a necklace. Silver. Cost $180. Had to save it 6 months. She hated it. Really? Seriously? Did you tell this story to someone who could walk away?
never bought another girlfriend jewelry again. Until Dr. happened.
You're dating her. You might want to start all your stories with that.
Same thing. She didn't even wear it.
The diamond thing she was wearing it the other day.
She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. Apparently I suck at picking out jewelry, but at least I have the guts to tell me.
Okay, getting boring again. How long till we know if this treatment is working?
You lied to me.
I wasn't having an affair.
So we needed money. Okay.
Last time business was slow, you got migraines every day.
You do that to me.
I'm sorry, I was stupid. Don't go. Don't hit somebody. I'm sorry on this stupid computer.
Logie. The gang's all here. What's so? What are you guys doing? Just like everybody else. Logie. You're too cute. I'm so upset. I had such big plans for the day because, like, I was gonna get a lot done today. Because I did laundry last night, but I put it in the dryer before, like, I put it in the dryer and then I went to bed, so I didn't get my laundry out. And then today I was going to do my laundry, and then I wanted to organize my books because they're literally all just thrown in there. But our power's out right now, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit in silence and do laundry. I'm either going to play music or watch something. And unfortunately, see, if like the internet was out, I wouldn't have noticed. Because I don't spend much time on the internet anyway. Like during the day, if I'm home, I'm playing records, I'm watching a tape, stuff like that. So I wouldn't have noticed if it was the internet. But the whole power's out. So I'm quite literally just sitting in silence. I'm reading, but I'm going to my grandma's house tonight, and I'm going to stay the night. And she lives just down the street. Like, she literally lives a block away. So, well, not a block away. She lives down the street, but it's like half a mile away. And it's a really busy street, so it's kind of like, I can't just like walk down there because I might die. Like, literally. Like, actually, it's like this historical phenomenon thing where this street in our city has like the most deaths per year on the street from speeding related accidents and stuff like that. Like, I read this whole thing, they were like, in 1929, 500 people died on this street, and I was like, oh, nothing to do about that? Like, that still happens literally all the time. But, what can you do? Well, I mean, there is a lot you can do, but that's none of my business. Actually, the mayor of our city, he went on Instagram. It was either Instagram or TikTok, but he was on there, and he's like, I'm the mayor of this city. Of course I'm gonna be cool and stuff. And everybody was roasting him. They were like, Mr. Mayor, what do you have to say about various problems in our city that were absolutely preventable and you made worse? And I was like, good, because if nobody said that, I was gonna say that. It was really funny. But, and I was like, see, this is why you can't have politicians on social media, because they try to win people over by being like cool and relatable, and the problem is that people with a brain, we go, oh, that's so silly that they would try to win us over with this stuff. But there are always going to be people who go, oh, he's so silly because I do that. And like, he was literally like, I'm the mayor. Of course I'm going to drink 3 coffees a day. Like, it was something stupid like that. And then I was like, sir, you passed this bill that... Oh, Wilson, what's on you? Hey. That cat. He had like a thorn, or not a thorn, but you know those spiky, like little, what are those things called? Like a burr. Like, he had one of those on his butt. So I feel bad for grabbing him like that, but, like, he'll get hurt otherwise. Yeah. Anyway, I just started... I had to pause my house rewatch after season 5. Season 5 literally makes me insane. And season 6 is my favorite... Okay, so the opener for season 6, it's called Broken. It's a 2-hour episode of just Dr. House in the mental hospital. And that's, like, probably one of my favorite, like, television things ever made, ever. I think that episode is just amazing. But sometimes it makes me insane. So, when I was watching season 5, and I'm, like, not to be dramatic, I don't want to get into it, but I'm not doing well right now. And so, I was watching season 5, and I was like, oh, I cannot watch Dr. House in the mental hospital, because then I'm gonna, like, where are you going, Logan? But so, I was like, I can't watch this. But then see, one of the things I love about physical media is that you, like, DVDs specifically, like, I have every season of House on DVD, which I thrifted all of them, so, like, I have every season of this show on DVD, and I paid maybe $20 for all of them total. And, but I got them all separately. Like, it wasn't like a box set. Like, I collected these over the course of, like, a year. And, but so every single box for every season has an insane amount of, like, behind-the-scenes stuff. Like, every single one has, like, writers and producer commentary on various episodes that were popular. And then this one for season 6, they have an entire documentary about that episode. It's called Broken. And, like, a whole documentary about how they built the sets for it and everything. And I love stuff like that. I have always, like, even when I was a little kid, I would watch, like, documentaries about the making of Star Wars and stuff. So it was really cool to watch. But see, you just don't get that stuff with streaming services. And then they're like, oh, it's the convenience. That stuff's not convenient. I hate streaming. You'll never catch me. I was gonna say you'll never catch me streaming a movie, but I have been streaming for the Oscars and stuff, because like a lot of the Oscars movies are. But I'm so behind on watching movies. So in 2020 and 2021, I watched over 600 movies for the whole year. Like each year, I was watching over 600 movies. So it's like a little more than, like, I think that's probably like 10 movies a week, right? Which is actually about how much I watch. And then last year, I think I only logged 200 movies on Letterboxd. And that's partially because when I rewatch my shows, I don't watch anything but my shows. So like when I'm watching House, I'm watching House. Like, you'll never catch me watching anything else. But I usually, okay, so actually, I've been watching House for more than 10 years. I started watching House when it was still airing, so that's how long I've been watching House. And, well, I mean, like, I have Wilson that I got as a kitten, and he turns 7 next month, and he's named after Wilson from House. But, so it always goes like this. When I watch it, I watch until, so there's the points in the show where I usually take a little break. So usually right after the Tritter arc, I take a break for like a day or two, and I just don't watch any of it, and I watch like, so usually when I'm taking a break with it during the Tritter arc, I end up watching Robert Sean Leonard stuff. So I'll watch like Dead Poets Society and like Swing Kids and stuff like that. And then when I take a break in season 6, or going into season 6, because I usually take a break going into season 6, I watch Hugh Laurie stuff. So actually right now, or not right now, but I mean, the other day I watched the live action 101 Dalmatians, which I love that movie. Like, I just got all those VHS tapes, so I probably would have watched that again anyway, even if I wasn't watching House right now. But I'm not really a Disney person though, but that's a cute movie. And so when I'm taking a break right before season 6, I'll watch like Jeeves, because I love that show. Actually, I probably started watching that show before I ever watched House. And then, because I really liked the books. I love those books. Because they're so stupid, but they're fun. And then, like, last year, 2 years ago, whenever that show came out, I watched, like, Chance when it was running. And I didn't really care for it. But it wasn't bad. But then Avenue 5, when that was on the last couple of years, which I did like. I loved that show, which is funny because I don't like comedy, but I thought that was really well done. And, well, it's not that I don't like comedy. It's easier for me to say that I don't like comedy, because I do like comedy, but I'm very, very picky with comedy, and I think specifically, like, the current comedy style is just kind of repulsive. Like, okay, an example. So I love the BBC Ghosts, right? I thought that show was so cute and it was fun. It's not, and I'm not really a comedy person. I have my comedians that I like, but I did like Ghosts. And then they did the American remake like 2 seasons ago or something, like 2 like American seasons ago. And I hated it. And I'm like, this is the same thing, and it's just not good. And it's just something about like American comedy right now specifically that is just not fun to me. They're too cute. Well, anyway. So, but I did really like Avenue 5. I thought it was really good. Say hi, Wilson. He sleeps on my bed all night with me. He's so cute. He's a bed hog. He takes up the whole bed. And then, I'm trying to, the problem is that when I like an actor, I watch all of their movies. That's just something I've always done. So that's why, well, I've seen every single Mads Mikkelsen movie except for The Promised Land, and the only reason I haven't seen that yet is because they're not playing it anywhere near where I live, which I talked about before, I think. And I've seen almost every Harrison Ford movie because I was obsessed with him when I was a kid, so the only ones I haven't seen are ones that are like, I don't know, boring, ones that I have no interest in seeing. But I've been wanting to actually go through and finish his movies because, like, I might as well. I've seen almost all of them anyway. Wilson! What is that? I've seen a lot of Ethan Hawke movies because I've always really liked Ethan Hawke. I mean, there's like random actors where I'll be like, oh, I've seen this actor in a lot of stuff, so I guess I'll just watch everything they've been in. Like, okay, random. Actually, okay, fun little tangent. Here's how I first started watching House. So, most of my family watched House when it was on, so I was already familiar with the show. But when when American Horror Story first came out, I was obsessed with it. And I really liked Evan Peters, as you do. And so I started watching everything he did. And so when I like actors, I'll watch everything, not just their movies, but I'll be like, they were on this episode of SVU, so I'm going to watch that. So I was watching all these random episodes of like the Ghost Whisperer one that he was on and stuff like that. And so I watched House, and for those of you who don't know, the episode of House that Evan Peters is on is the one where the hospital is like, where the patient brings a gun to the hospital, and then he's just like, you have to diagnose me, and that one, the hostages one. And so that was the first episode of House I ever watched, and I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. So then I started watching the whole show, and that's how I started watching House. On my own. And what are you doing, Logan? Ooh, what's on you? Hi, Logie. Flea. Well, anyway, and that's how I started watching House. And so I think that must have been while season... Okay, so the first season of American Horror Story came out in 2011, but I don't think I watched it in 2011 because I started watching American Horror Story when Asylum was on, so it must have been 2012. So I started watching House while the last season of House was running. And which is funny because I remember people on Tumblr talking about it when it ended. And so that's how I started watching the same Doctor show every single year. And it's so funny because then I was obsessed with the first season of The Good Doctor when it came out because I was super psyched, right? Because I liked Freddie Highmore before that came out. Now I don't. But, and of course I like David Shore because of House. I was like, finally, because I was like, finally, he's doing a TV show about an autistic doctor, because, like, you know, like, half the characters on House, are, you know, but anyway, and then season 1 was really, really good, right, like, it wasn't great, but I thought it was really good, and it was better than I expected it to be, and then, I don't know what happened, all of a sudden, season 2, like, I literally watched the first episode of season 2, and I was like, what is this? And then I didn't finish it. I kept up with it for, like, 2 more seasons. I didn't watch it, but I had a lot of friends who watched it, a lot of my Tumblr mutuals, hi mutuals, but they eventually stopped watching it, so now I literally have no idea what's going on. All I know is that it's ending, and it got more seasons than House. How are you going to give a TV show that has been bad since season 1? So that show started in 2017, I think. So a show that's been bad since 2018, since I was in high school, and then give it more seasons than House, which is funny if you think about it, because House started when I was in, like, kindergarten or first grade or something, and then it was on until I was in high school, which is weird if you think about it. Wilson, leave him alone. Hi, Logan. Sorry he did that to you. Wilson always tries to play with Logan, and he, like, starts jumping on him, like, jumping over him, and Logan just does not appreciate it. He used to, but now he's just a little old man. Now he's just a little old man. Anyway, so now that The Good Doctor's ending, I'm like, I kind of hope... So, this is so bad. I kind of would like to see a show, not like a whole show, but like, I wouldn't be mad if it was canceled after 1 season, because I'd just like to see, you know, but I'd like a little mini 1 season thing about Chase from House, like, where he's, like, what he's up to now. But the thing with that is that I don't necessarily want to see a House sequel where so much of the main cast, like, the characters that made us love the show, they wouldn't be there. So obviously Wilson wouldn't be there, House wouldn't be there, 13 wouldn't be there. Like, most of the well-loved characters, Cuddy wouldn't be there, none of them would be there. So it's kind of like, it would be fun though to see, like, oh, Chase, you know, Greek tragedy, like, he became what he worked so hard to not become. And that would be interesting. But then it's like, then I'd have to see, like, it's not that I don't like Taub, I love Taub, but Taub is like one of those co-workers that you don't especially like, but they haven't done anything wrong to you, so like, if you're asked, like, point blank, like, how do you feel about this coworker, I go, oh, I love them, like, they're my best friend, like, I love them, but just because you don't have anything bad to say about them, but you don't actually care, like, that's how I feel about Taub. So, but then I feel like they spend way too much time on Taub, even on the show. I'm like, he wasn't that interesting, but I like, what's his name, who plays him, Peter Jacobson. I think he did a good job, but, I think it'd be fun just to see a little bit, because I always imagined that Taub would have his own team in the department. Like, I always imagined they would have expanded the department. Like, they probably have their own, like, ward, like, their own wing, right? And they'd probably have, like, their own nurses and stuff like that. So, and, like, Taub would have his own mini team, probably of just, like, 2 people, like him and 2 other employees. And, you know, stuff like that. I think it'd be fun just to see. And I'm obsessed with various media opening with funerals. So I would, on the Dr. Chase show that doesn't exist and I don't want to exist, I would open with 13's funeral. That would be my opening scene. And I always thought they should have done that with Cobra Kai. Okay, so season 1 of Cobra Kai. Let's go on a little Cobra Kai tangent. So season 1 of Cobra Kai, I loved. I liked how it focused on Johnny and all that, right? But then the way that it turned throughout the rest of the show became more focused on, like, Daniel and his whole family. if that was going to be their intention, I think season 1 should have opened with Mr. Miyagi's funeral. Because I think funerals are a good way to begin. You know, the ending is the beginning. But a couple of things. One, I wouldn't want to see... Okay, first of all, I like the ending House has. I like how it's impending doom, but still happy and hopeful. Like, you know... Like, you watch that ending, and you know Wilson's gonna die, you know House is gonna die, and you know it's gonna be soon. But it's still happy. Like, you're still happy, and you enjoy it. Like, you like to watch that ending. And I think it was the perfect ending for the show, because throughout the show they make it so obvious that even though, like, they have all these other things they care about, the most important thing in the entire world to them is each other. And I think that's an important ending, and I think it was perfectly done. So I feel like if they were to do, like, a show about Chase, they would find some way to be like, oh, Dr. House is still alive. There'd be, like, a surprise cameo. Like, you know, they'd be like, psych. Like in the first few episodes, they'd be like, Dr. House is dead. We need to get over it. But then he, like, shows up in the clinic or something. Like, you know, and I wouldn't enjoy that. I would enjoy it in the sense that I would like to see them all together, and I love Hugh Laurie, so I'd like to see him. But, like, when I think about House, I would be really, really upset if they did that. So, and I just don't, given the events of The Good Doctor, I don't trust David Shore with the characters he created. Same with, like, with Wilson. Well, I think Wilson, everything that happened to Wilson had to happen. And it's sad, and I'm not happy about it, but I think story-wise, it was important that all that happened. And I just don't want to take away from all of that by changing it. You know, like, I don't want House to be alive. I don't want them to be like, psych, everyone's alive. But then also, if they were to come back and just be like, psych, season 8 didn't happen, I'd be like, alright, that's none of my business. But, yeah. But then also, it's like, I just don't... I don't know. So I'm watching House. What are you doing, Sushi? Oh, Sushi mushy.
tell him I'll have a private jet pick him up from whatever island.
He is on vacation. Dr. Foreman's one of our best doctors.
Is House in jail?
No. Foreman is currently working with two of House's most veteran associates.
Rehab?
No. Mr. Randall, your son will be in good hands.
My son has already been in good hands, and he's still dying. I'm through feeling good. I want the best, and everyone I've asked says that's House. So unless he's dead, comatose, or insane, I want him treating my son today.
Could have said no. In good conscience.
The kid'll still be Foreman's patient. But his dad wants you making the decision.
And he's not my patient. You want to give me none of the responsibility and all of the liability? Which means I get... Oh, cool.
Don't let him do anything crazy.
When is he getting his license back so we can stop playing this game?
Maybe never. This game is fun.
You also need to prepare President Dubala's case for this week's Morbidity and Mortality Conference.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm overdue a mani-pedi appointment.
Not you. Foreman's department.
All right. Well, he's got all the time in the world.
We made the wrong call. He died. There's nothing to present.
About continued failure caused by type 1 diabetes, which has been ruled out.
17 doctors. Everything's being ruled out.
Ow!
Re-rule out. Get it in history and
You need to be
physical.
so dramatic.
Unless that's crazy, boss.
Been out of the country or on any recent camping trips?
No camping, but we were in Montreal back in January.
I went to see the NHL All-Star game for my birthday.
Awesome.
Where's Dr. House?
In his office. He's really more of a decider than a doer. He's decided we should start over. Never know what previous doctors may have missed. Like this. Did that hurt more when I pushed there? Not really.
What is it?
Not sure.
Just keep it clean. Simple. We did a test that called into question our initial diagnosis, so we changed our mind.
And if they ask how the test was done?
Why would they do that? It's a routine lab test.
Routine lab tests don't involve blood.
Penny.
Stole from a corpse to treat me until you got no treatment.
Yes. And if you brought that up, it would certainly make for a lively debate about the morality of murdering murderers. But since you burn the only evidence of that,
To cover for you, not me.
you're protected. The decision was a coin flip. There was no right or wrong answer. The body's underground, 8,000 miles away.
Not because of the patient, but because House's department screwed up.
They're going to be like sharks in a chum-filled swim.
I thought your position was our leaving as we lose.
We're not talking about my position. We're talking about yours.
Here's what doesn't add up. If you were serious about staffing your team, you would know exactly which 3 fellows you wanted. You plowed ahead with this case even though you hadn't hired new fellows because you knew.
Ooh, guy. I look around every once in a while. No, I'm all
Richie.
Well, the fact that she's the only one that I'm intimate with.
No part of you wants to just toss this roof
documentary that's shot inside a psychiatric hospital.
We can
I
talk a little
recommend
bit about, there's Albie's shirt.
Albie's shirt
I love
there.
that shirt.
Oh yeah, I came up with that
Hey, Wilson.
just in one of our production meetings. I was trying to envision the last shot, and then sort of went backwards to it's Albie's shirt.
Did you want to pump up the yellow?
Yes, because
You
nobody
did,
was
right?
noticing the T-shirt.
Right,
So in
right.
that shot, oh, what a good memory you have, Russ. I wish I could go back. Guys, go back and look at the yellowness of the smiley face T-shirt. It's much more yellow in that first shot because no one was noticing it. So at the end, no one knew it belonged to Albie.
There's the shirt there. In the previous scene, the yellow's even the yellow
Brighter.
right top, so you remember it for the very last scene with House on the Bus.
And remember that he got it from Albie.
Yeah, presumably got it from Albie.
And perhaps we were planning to see that Albie may come back somewhere in season 6. Well, they know now. They're listening to this, Jared.
Commando.
I want you to focus.
You want me to mess them up? Then I'll get you some dip. But I've never seen dip in the vending
Yes,
machine.
get me chips and dip.
What a nightmare for House.
Also, House's hair, like, is this the first time we've seen him with the shorter
Yeah.
hair? It is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That was like a whole thing I remember too, like, what, you know.
I cut his hair though at the end of season 5 because I was in New Jersey and I shot some of the exterior shots without knowing where we were going.
Right.
Oh, I'll mention those. Oh, yeah.
Well, remember he came back.
And I showed you.
Didn't he come back with the long hair and the beard? I think.
He came back season 6. He did not shave in the hiatus, so yeah, he had a really long beard. Now that's Lee, who worked on this episode, and I cheated. He's become one of our regular background people in Princeton Plainsboro.
It's believable. How could have hired him over? How's like this?
No, not believable.
You know, I didn't know that until
Long beard. Now that's Lee, who worked on this episode, and I cheated. He's become one of our regular background people in Princeton Plainsboro.
It's believable. How could have hired him over? How's like this?
No, not believable.
You know, I didn't know that until just now.
I know.
I didn't know that.
He's
That's
not
a
the
little
one.
secret. That's like an Easter egg.
It is like an Easter egg.
Got messy, haven't it? Clothes are hanging out of his shirt.
Yeah, I did that.
I actually love the way this room came out.
Oh, great.
I love the way the wall blew up so we could film it.
Yeah. But every color of the blanket, of the stripe, of the walls, it was very fun working with all of these choices. You know, starting from scratch.
Right. Generally, again, on a TV series, that's not something we do after
The pilot.
the pilot.
Yeah.
Done. So week to week, we walk in, our set's our set, and that's it. You know.
Do you remember how happy, by the way, that Lynn was with the flag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of the reason why I put it right behind his bed.
That was
Love
the,
Artemis.
I mean, we talk about it when
telling her.
Yeah, I'm just showing her.